Okay. All right. Going through the axial skeleton, we have the skull, the ribs, the sternum, and the vertebrae. So I'm going to show you how the vertebrae can be confusing and the skull can be confusing. First of all, you need to know the bones of the cranium. You have the frontal bone, the parietal bone, and the occipital bone. Notice the occipital bone has a suture above it. That is a lambdoid suture. The suture going between the parietal bones is the sagittal suture. It's on the sagittal line. And then the suture right here behind the frontal bone is the coronal suture. Right here, this is the frontal bone extends down into the orbit. The orbit is one of the most complicated structures in the skeletal system. It actually has 7 bones. The zygomatic also extends into it, as does the maxilla and the nasal bone. And inside there, you're going to see a hole. See that hole in the back? That is where the optic nerve passes to the brain. And so right here, all this is all the sphenoid. And then the ethmoid, do you see those lines right there? That is the ethmoid. It's actually on the medial side. It's not in the middle. It can be deceptive when you look on a paper because it looks like it's in the middle, but it's not. It's actually medial. And then most medial is the lacrimal. And there's a hole there that allows drainage of the tears. This is the nasal bone. It's on the bridge of the nose. This is the vomer, this one down here. These are these bumps, or the inferior nasal conchae. You have your zygomatic, which is your cheekbone, and you have your mandible. Going down, you have a floating bone in your neck. That is the hyoid. So you can remember, you say hi with your hyoid. You have the sternum and the 12 ribs. Rib 1, rib 2, rib 3, rib 4, rib 5, rib 6, rib 7, rib 8, rib 9, rib 10, rib 11, and rib 12. These are going to attach to the thoracic vertebrae. When you're doing the vertebrae, always orient yourself with certain vertebrae. So we know there's 7 cervical, there's 12 thoracic, they're each attached to a rib with the same number, and there's 5 lumbar. A great way to orient yourself, since it can get confusing up here, especially since C1 looks different, so students miss that, is find your first rib. You can always, anyone can find the first rib. And then the vertebrae attached to that is going to be T1. So then count backward from there for the cervical. So this would be C7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then count forward here. This is T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is going to be T12. Double check yourself by finding L5. Anyone can find L5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is L1, so that means the one above it has to be T12. That's how I want you to double check yourself with the vertebrae. Okay, that's it.